Hi, love. It's Lindsay Landry, energy healer, heart shaman, and mentor for healers and soul-led entrepreneurs who are ready to deepen into pleasure and prosperity on their own terms with more ease and flow and joy. So I'm so delighted and honored to be here with you today. It is the full moon in Taurus. And I woke up this morning, my heart was really full. I am feeling a deep sense of appreciation and gratitude. And it just feels really, really good. I've also been getting these glimpses of the past few years, specifically, it was the new moon in Taurus, and I think it was 2019. I hosted my first Heart Magic ceremonial retreat, and I've been seeing these glimpses from that retreat, which I will more than likely share a bit about. But there's so much richness here and so much opportunity with the energy right now and the full moon. It's almost a little overwhelming, and I can feel the way that the nervous system and the body are needing sort of an upgrade and needing deep support to metabolize the energy and actually open to the new currency that is really desiring to move through and flow through each of us. So I want to share a bit about that today. Before we dive in, I really want to invite us to take some deep breaths and just allow us to arrive here. Because there's so much energy, so I can really feel that I will need to move a little slower through this podcast and really discern what is wanting to be utilized, which it feels like is also some of the medicine of this moon, right? Like building our ability to discern and really finding the breadcrumbs, the juiciness amongst so much information, so much even noise, honing in, right, on the actual nutrients, on the actual medicine that is available. So let's just go ahead and settle in. So I want to invite you just to find some stillness wherever you are. You might put a hand on your belly, maybe one on your heart or your womb, whatever feels comfortable and natural for you. Yeah, and just begin to take some deep breaths. And with each breath, bringing your attention and your awareness to your body. Taurus is all about the body, the physical realm, 3D manifestation. So really tuning in to the body here. Noticing how you're feeling physically. And with your next couple of breaths, I invite you to slow the energy down even a little bit more. So just imagine it stretching out and slowing down as you get really present with your body and what is. You may even orient to the physical space that you're in. So as you are bringing your awareness and your attention to your body, keep your eyes open. Look around the room where you are. Notice your physical surroundings. Beautiful. And the last check-in that I want to invite you towards right here is just to notice how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, and spiritually as you arrive here. Beautiful. Okay. So what I'm present to is this current of energy that is deep in my root, in my yoni. And it feels like delight. I can feel in my body there is some uncertainty. It feels almost like kind of hunching in or clenching a bit. And yet my mind and even my spirit feels so delighted by this delight that I feel in my yoni. But what I'm present to is there's somewhat of a disconnect. Like my body isn't quite there. And this is something that I've been noticing. And I've been working really closely with for myself personally. And I also work with these energies when I'm working with clients. So when we are wanting to manifest things into the 3D world, whether it is clients, money, maybe it's to move, maybe it's deeper intimacy with our partner, right? It can be anything. But when we're wanting to manifest things and really bring our vision to life, often what I see is that healers, coaches, they're working these energetics on the mind level, right? Getting their beliefs, their thoughts in alignment with what they're wanting. They might even be working it emotionally, right? Like really working to shift the vibration emotionally and find that alignment with their spirit. If the body is not open to the vibration or is not open to what it is, right? The feeling, the sensation, the experience that you are wanting to call in, it's going to be really challenging and almost impossible to manifest it. And one of the visions that I've been receiving, I started to receive this yesterday, was in 2019. I think it was 2019. It might have been 2018, but I held a program. It was called Heart Magic, and it was an 8-month deep dive energy program. And we had 2 ceremonial retreats that I led during the 8 months, and it was a combination of group and also one-on-one deep dive work, soul work, really to support women in opening to their heart, opening to their magic, stepping into their gifts, and really beginning to embody it in their business and their life. And when I created this program, it came from such a deep, juicy place within me. And I felt like I was stepping into my soul's work, what I was here to do on this planet. And I literally had so much joy and so much passion around this program. And as I began to step into it and create it, I had women sign up. I had women pay me. It was beautiful. And if you're listening to this and you're one of those women, I deeply cherish you. I deeply value you. And just know that that 8-month journey left such a deep imprint on my heart. Yes. So, yeah, so when I began to move towards the first retreat, this was like my first big retreat that I ever hosted. I remember the amount of uncertainty that began to arise in me from picking the location to deciding on, how I wanted to arrive at the location. I ended up renting a car, and some of the women drove with me, and then I gave some women travel vouchers. But there was all these decisions that needed to be made, right? Even the food. And it was quite overwhelming. And there was a part of me that really wanted Spirit to just tell me what to do. Tell me the things. I wanted to be shown. I wanted it to magically just appear and to have like this crystal clear knowing of what to do and what was the best thing. And that wasn't the medicine that was in order. And what was being asked of me at that time was for me to get really clear on what I wanted and for me to make decisions and to step into that. And it was so uncomfortable. And I remember even, I made the decision to rent a car, and some of the women drove with me. And I remember how nervous I was driving the 6 hours to the location. And at the end of that ceremony, I don't even think I profited, right? Like I might have broken even, and I might have even been a little bit in the hole, because I put so much energy into it. And the other thing that really stood out to me in what I've been remembering is the first night of ceremony. We were deep in it, and I remember looking around and I saw all of the delicious food that we had, and I looked out the window and I saw the lake and the mountains that this lake house was on and the swimming pool, and I was so exhausted. I was so tired. My body was so tired that I didn't feel connected to any of it. And oh, my heart, I feel so much compassion. Oh my goodness, you might have heard that acorn. I feel so much compassion for my younger self and that version of myself in this moment. But it was so real for me in that moment as well, that, looking around and just feeling so tired and sad at the same time, because I put forth all of this energy and here I am tired and I felt like I wasn't available for it. Right? And this felt really important to share for a few reasons, because I think that we have this idea and this illusion around, it's like a fantasy, right? That when we begin to step into our soul work, it's going to be so easy peasy breezy. And that's not necessarily true. It will bring you up close and personal to every edge in you and to your fears. When you step into the work that you are here to do, it is going to require you to grow and expand your capacity, your vessel. And part of that is we have to learn to be present in our process of where we are. That's how we are able to receive nourishment and satisfaction throughout the process. And so, for me, my inner perfectionist really kicked in, right? And I started having my own stuff come up around like not feeling nourished by what I created, or feeling maybe like I wasn't able to give as much as I wanted to give after expending all of this energy actually creating the thing. And I've been just looking at this, right? And looking at the medicine that is available through it. And what I can really see is that there's an opportunity to learn. And when we are moving forward towards our work, it's going to be a constant opportunity to learn and to grow. And it's not so much about all of the details of what is happening, but this deep satisfaction, this deep sense of nourishment comes from the ability to stay open to the pulse of life that is wanting to flow through and create through the experience. And what I've been seeing is that we get attached to the external creation and the external experience, what's happening outside, right? And we miss the boat of what's actually wanting to be given to us. And so I just want to pause here and invite us to take a few breaths. And you may have a place in your own life, right, where you're rubbing up against these edges. Another experience, when I moved to the camp, my grandparents' lake house, that was shortly after Heart Magic. So that was in 2020, I think. I felt like my energy was pulled in two different places. And so part of me was like extremely delighted to be there. I felt like I was in my shaman cave, and the land was so close and so supportive, and it was speaking so loudly and clearly to me. And then there was this other part of me that felt so many layers of guilt and shame. And, like, if I was successful, it should look different. Like, I didn't know if I could actually receive being there, because in my brain, well, this isn't what success looks like. And as we spent the beginning of the week at the camp, and, I felt into the vibration that I created there, the healing space, and I really sank into my own container, right? And this imprint that I left there of working with the land, and just this sacred space that I created, this temple. I felt the power and the nourishment and the grounded energy that was gifted to me through this experience. And then I was able to really sink into it and receive it for myself on a deeper level. And it was such a gift, right? And it's like being able to see and experience it again. I still can feel where there's like some places in my body, right, that are tight and tense and uncertain, of like, but is it really safe for me to fully receive this? And if I fully receive this, as there's like this fear that more won't be available, that like I'm settling, right? And what I truly believe and feel is that it's actually through receiving what is here, what is being given to us, that we are able to expand and receive more, right? So I just want to take a few breaths here. And this conversation isn't so much for your mind, it's really for your body. It's for your body and these parts of you that might be clenching, and they might be tight. They might be afraid to open to what is here for you and what is available for you. You may be reaching and striving to get there to your vision, and yet you aren't allowing yourself to receive the satisfaction and to receive the gifts of being where you are. And another place where I've been reflecting on this, or where I've been getting these glimpses, is as I am restarting my business, right? And I say restarting. It's not really that I'm restarting, but in a lot of ways I am, right? Because I stepped back quite a bit, and now I'm in this rebirth phase. And as I'm stepping into this rebirth, my mind wants to grasp to what I did years ago and where I was years ago and what success looked like for me years ago and what worked for me in my business years ago. And I can feel myself like almost boxing myself in that. And then there's this way that it's like it actually cuts off the life force. It sends me into this frozen mode because I'm trying to compare where I am now to where I was then. And the truth is, I'm not that person anymore. My business is not the same as it was then either. And also, if I look back to when I began my business, I did just one little bitty step at a time, and I was so in love with the process. So I wasn't coming from this place of the mind of knowing what to do or thinking I would know what would work, right? It's like I had this level of innocence, and that level of innocence actually was so powerful for me. The sacred fool of just doing it unapologetically and having no attachments, not knowing, right? I feel like there's an invitation here to connect back to that space. When we are creating these big visions and wanting to bring them into the 3D, bring them to life, it takes work. But it does not have to be a painful process. It does not have to be a grueling, torturous process. But it's up to us to choose the vibration that we want to move forward in and to create in. And we get to choose the energy current. Most women, when they come to me, they have been in these energetic currents for so long. Whether it's a current of trauma or a current of programming, or maybe sacrificing themselves to take care of a family or to make their business work. And because of that, they're disconnected from this other current of pleasure, prosperity, flow, abundance, passion, creation. The space between where you are and really how you're desiring to feel, it's to get there. It's like you have to change the energetic station, and then you also have to allow your body to open, right? So we have all of these receptacles in our body. And if they are clenching to the old program, to the old vibration, it's going to be really challenging to switch gears, to switch stations. So we have to have an experience of the new and really feel it and, determine if it is safe before we can soften and open into it. When we do energy work on this level, and we really begin to tune into and soften into our body's wisdom and begin to remember, it opens so much opportunity and so much, I lost my word. It opens opportunity and this deep remembering, this wisdom, this intelligence of a different vibration. It's like it's something so grounded and so real, yet it's unseen, right? And so it's like me going to the lake house, the camp, and being there, I just automatically began to sink into this safety and this space of grounding in and relaxing and remembering, right? And it's not because of anything logical. It's not because anything changed in my outside world, but it was because I tuned in and tapped into this space that I originally created. And when I felt that vibration, my body quickly remembered. This full moon in Taurus, there's this invitation to remember. In the moment, there might be a lot of uncertainty. There might be a lot of fear. There might be a lot of exhaustion and heaviness, feeling like you're treading through the swamp. And what I want to invite you towards is, can you shift into noticing the flowers that are in the swamp? Or noticing the level of blue that is in the sky? Or really feeling the sensation of the air and feeling the moisture, feeling it saturate your lungs, your skin, your hair. Noticing the sounds. Yeah. And finding the pleasure and the satisfaction and the nourishment that is available from life herself, and being present with life herself. And sometimes, when we are in these places that feel crunchy, or we do something for the first time and we feel so much grief, right? So like me hosting this retreat and then feeling so much grief after or during it, because I had expectations and I didn't, I couldn't meet my own expectations, right? There are moments of connection. There are moments of maybe having a friend listen or having your partner hold your hand. And there's so much sweetness in those moments. Can you allow yourself to receive those moments? things do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be there to begin to receive pleasure and prosperity. It is right here, right now, and it is your birthright. So, I feel like this episode is a little all over the place, but I really want to trust. I'm going to trust that you receive the medicine that you need. And what I want to leave you with is an invitation to look for the breadcrumbs. So the breadcrumb might be that you feel disappointed and your partner grabs your hand and spends a moment with you. That might be a breadcrumb. Can you take in that one breadcrumb? Absorb it. Digest it. This podcast episode might be a breadcrumb. You might have a want or a desire emerge. That's a breadcrumb. Can you receive it? Can you allow yourself to have it? This is how we begin to expand our capacity for pleasure, for prosperity, for success. This is also how we begin to deepen our confidence, regain our self-trust. Okay? It starts here. It starts small. You are worth it. Your vision is worth it. And if you are desiring support right now, I am offering a full moon healing special. So 75-minute session for $111 for the next few days. So go ahead and just send me a message and I will send you the link if you'd like to claim your spot. And just to note the date, today is November 15th, 2024. It's a Friday and the special is going to go away on Monday, which Monday morning, November 18th. So, just to give you a time frame. But I am sending you so many blessings. And I'm sending a prayer. I hope Spirit finds you, meets you, and helps you remember on this full moon in Taurus. All right, love. Bye for now.